Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mariah. Today's topic is the ADA and all it covers. All the information I'm going to be presenting is from the ADA National Network website. I know this video probably is going to be longer than most videos, but please bear with me, and I'm sorry if you guys think it's too long, but I believe this information is vital for you guys to know. And here it goes. The ADA stands for the American with Disabilities Act. The ADA became law in 1990. The ADA is a civil rights act that prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities in all areas in public life, including jobs, schools, transportation, and all public and private places that are open to the general public. The purpose of this law is to make sure that people with disabilities have the same rights and opportunities as everyone else. The ADA gives civil right protections to individuals with disabilities, similar to those provided to individuals on the basis of race, color, sex, national origin, age, and religion. It guarantees equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities in public accommodations, employment, transportation, state and local government services, and telecommunication. The ADA is divided into 5 titles or sections that relate to different areas of public life. In 2008, the Americans with Disabilities Act Amendments Act, or ADAAA, was signed into law and became effective on January 1st, 2009. The ADAAA made a number of significant changes to the definition of disability. Disability is defined as a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more life activities. A record of such impairment or being regarded as having such an impairment. The changes in the definition of disability in the ADAAA applies to all titles of the ADA. Again, there are 5 titles or sections of that the ADA covers. I will be describing each of the titles below. Title 1 is employment, which is about providing equal employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities. The title is designed to help people with disabilities access the same employment opportunities and benefits available to people without disabilities. Employers must provide reasonable accommodations to qualified applicants and employees. Reasonable accommodations is any modifications or adjustments to a job or the work environment that will enable an applicant or employee with a disability to participate in the application process or to perform essential job functions. Employers with 15 or more employees must comply with this law. The regulations for Title I define disability, establish guidelines for the reasonable accommodations process, address medical examinations and inquiries, and defined direct threats when there is significant risk or substantial harm to health or safety of the individual employee with a disability or others. Title II, state and local government, non-discrimination based on basis of on disability is in state and local government services. Title II of the ADA prohibits discrimination against qualified individuals with disability in programs, activities, services, and public entities. This applies to all state and local governments, their departments and agencies, and any other instrumental or special purpose districts of the state or local governments. It clarifies the requirements of Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 as amended for public transportation systems that receive federal financial assistance and extend coverage to all public entities that provide public transportation, whether or not the federal financial assistance. Whether or not they receive federal financial assistance. It establishes detailed standards for um, the operations of public transport transit services, including commuter or intercity rails or Amtrak. The title outlines the administrative purposes to be followed, including requirements of self-valuation planning, requirements for making reasonable modifications to policies, practices, and procedures when necessary to avoid discrimination. Architectural barriers to be identified and the need for effective communication with people with hearing, vision, and speech disabilities. Title 3 Public Accommodations. Non-discrimination on the basis of um, non-discrimination on the basis of disability by public accommodations and in commercial facilities. This title prohibits private places of public accommodations from discriminating against individuals with disabilities. Examples of public accommodations include privately owned, leased, or operated facilities with hotels, restaurants, retail facilities, retail merchants, doctor's offices, golf courses, public schools, health clubs, sports stadiums, movie theaters, and so on. This title states the minimum standard for accessibility for alterations and new constructions of facilities. This also requires public accommodations to remove barriers in existing buildings where it is easy to do so without much difficulty or expense. This title directs businesses to make reasonable accommodations to make their usual ways of doing things when serving people with disabilities. It requires that they take steps necessary to communicate effectively with customers with vision, hearing, and speech disabilities. Title 4 Telecommunications. This title requires telephone and internet companies to provide nationwide service of interstate and intrastate telecommunication relay services that allow individuals with hearing and speech disabilities to communicate over telephone. This title also requires closed captioning for federally funded public service announcements. And Title 5. The final title contains a variety of provisions related to the ADA as a whole, including its relationship to other laws, state and state immunity, its impact on internet providers and benefits, prohibition against retaliation and coercion, illegal use of drugs, and attorney fees. If you guys have any suggestions for any future videos that you would like to hear me talk about, please let me know in the comment section or on my Twitter page. Thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Bye.